We're back onto the turf for our final two races. Here's the lineup for the 9th. Chevalier Property Development and Operations Handicap. It's over the mile and it's Class 3 company. And Band of Brothers has got another shocking draw. Barrier 14, he had 10 last start. This is even worse for him, unless he gets some luck through the early stages. Packing Warrior, Zach Purton, gate 6. We go down to Flying Quest, who was a last stride winner at the Valley last outing. Win-win. Got fractious and kicked out in the gates last start, scratched from that intended start. Guy Dragon, Fenrir's drawn 10, Ensemble, Smart Patch looking good, and Righteous Doctrine have decided to come back to the turf with him. This, of course, is Class 3. He's getting close to a drop in grade. Packing Warrior back and forth to Chun Fa a couple of times recently.
Looking at the speed here, good to slow is the prediction. Now, Fenrir is a horse that has led in the past and it's worked out well for him when he has led over in the UK. So maybe they might roll the dice from gate number 10, Regan Bayless, Jimmy Ting, and go forward. He travelled nicely in a recent barrier trial. Pressure Ships raced forward in the past, but it hasn't quite worked out for him. He did win last start. Ensemble down there on the inside, looking good to get a good passage, and poor old Band of Brothers, Alexi Bedell's going to try and do his best to slot in from gate 14.
Here is Packing Warrior. Look, he was really unlucky. He missed the start last time and ran on really nicely. Caught the eye. And Zach Purton jumps aboard as well. He goes nicely in his track work and he's going well at the moment, Packing Warrior. Was beaten by Brand of Brothers last season, but there's a massive turnaround in the weights there. Guy Dragon goes well. He's been a very consistent horse, Guy Dragon. Nice piece of work from him, and he's got barrier number 1, Chad Schofield, aboard for this piece. He'll ride him on a race day as well. And looking good, he's getting down on the weights now, and he does bob up occasionally, and he'll get his opportunity, I think, from barrier 4. He's been running at Happy Valley recently. Interesting, he's back now here to Sha Tin.
Yeah, he's capable, but he is a little bit untrustworthy looking good. Even money favourite at this stage, Packing Warrior. He features in our first replay where he finished 4th. Smart Patch won at the end of last season, won first up. He sort of loomed up for a portion here of the stretch. In the end, Cordyceps was too good for the lot of them. But I think both these two we're highlighting have got claims on an each-way basis.
Yeah, definitely Packing Warrior. I'm going to put him on top. As I mentioned, he meets Band of Brothers £10 better off for their beating last time. And he missed the start here. And the way he hit the line, I thought it was a real strong run from him. And he just got nutted for 3rd, ended up 4th.
I left him out in the end, to be honest. I know he was slow away, but yeah, I left him out. I found a few others.
All right, Precious Ship didn't do a great deal in his first prep. He actually ran fair, his first prep, but he was struggling to find that extra length and a half to be in the finish. But trials at the start of the season suggested potentially he might find the extra length and a half or 2 lengths this season. He didn't do it first up, but he did second up.
He had gate number 3 last time round, so he's not going to get quite as good as run as I thought he did last time out. He's got gate number 12 this time round. Quiet trial coming into this, but he really knuckled down and powered on with it to beat. I think it was Happy Fun last start.
He's going good too. He's not an easy horse to get past that Happy Fun.
Yeah, like the draw was the one that put me out because he did have a good run there.
All right, moving on to Looking Good. You touched on him briefly, Paul, and Flying Quest circumnavigated the field to come home and win. It's worth noting he's had 5 wins at the Valley. He's had 5 wins in his career. Yeah,
I think that's the key. I think you've knocked it on the head there, Brett, with him. So I've actually left these two out. They're both running pretty well at the Valley, but I think this will be a bit tougher.
I included Looking Good. He was only just swamped there over the last wee bit. He is a winner here at Sha Tin. He's trying the course and distance for the first time, but he's got a light weight in this race.
Yeah, he's the type of horse, if you leave him out, he'll bob up because he's capable, but if you put him in, he probably runs an ordinary one. Guy Dragon was interesting last season. He took a few runs to hit his straps, and then I think it was 3rd up where he was well tried in the betting and was able to go through and win. Here he is 3rd up on Saturday. He's drawn perfectly in gate number 1.
He drew 10 both times this season. This is his 3rd run. I thought it was full of merit, this run. I found a place for him, Guy Dragon. I think he's quite an honest horse.
He actually won at the end of last season, or close to the end of last season, from gate 1 too.
Yeah, I found a spot for him as well. You could see Pickett in that race well. He came out and went close the other night at Happy Valley, but he kept coming in. He's got gate number 1, which I think is a real plus this time round.
On to Win-Win. Now, he got scratched at the gates last time. As I mentioned, he got fractious, kicked out, got himself into a real pickle and was taken out. He is a horse that can sit back and come with a big sort of looping run, a big striding type in the stretch. Not out of it at a long price, I wouldn't have thought.
No, I've definitely thought about throwing him in. I did at the end of a minor line. He's there next to Simply Big down the outside. He seemed to be under a good hold from Keith Young in this trial. He does ride, so he's actually got, I think he's got a good enough record to figure in this. 2 wins from his 10 starts and a few other minor placings, so I'm keeping him safe.
He is the type of horse that needs plenty of galloping room and to stay balanced. If he loses his action and gets a bit unbalanced, then the ordinary runs pop up in the race book. But when he does everything right, he's won. All right, Paul, Packing Warrior for you by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with him. He meets Band of Brothers so much better in the weights. They did meet in Class 3 last season, and the Packing Warrior ran second behind Band of Brothers. There was only a neck in it for £10 difference at barrier number 6 for Packing Warrior. I'll take him on top of Band of Brothers. Still think Band of Brothers is a very progressive horse and has been downgraded. Well, he's still at the top here of Class 3, I should say. He did race in Class 2 last time. His last one did come in Class 3. So 2 to beat 1. The 8, Guy Dragon, as I mentioned, is a really consistent horse. Barrier 1, he'll get his chance. And Szechuan Da's really well rated. He's coming down the ratings. And last time he came here to Sha Tin, he ran second behind Happy Sebring at over 100 to 1. He's then since gone back to Happy Valley and run a shocker again. So maybe Sha Tin's the key for him. I think he'll be at a bit of a price. So I'll put him in only for 4th, though, because I do like the 2. 2183.
He absolutely walked out of the gates last start, Szechuan. I'm going to stick with Band of Brothers here, horse number 1, 13 and 4.3. He's going to require some luck from gate number 14 from Alexia Bedell, but he's a real progressive type. Guy Dragon goes in from the inside draw, so we're going outside and inside, looking good, and also win-win. So 1, 8, 13 and 7.
I thought Guy Dragon was probably ready to win, so I've ended up siding with him over 1, 2 and 4, but I think Szechuan Da, Win-Win, Smart Patch, Righteous Doctrine, they're all horses at a price that could bob up should they get the luck in transit. That's race number 9. We've got one to preview on Racing to Win. Stay with us. That comes up along with all the best bets and the stats for the program.